Paul Martin was a graphic artist and illustrator. His artwork appeared on 8 different major magazine covers between 1923 and 1936. Martin redesigned the then iconic Fisk Tire Boy. He played in tennis tournaments around the greater New York area from 1918-31. The annual Paul Martin Singles Tournament is named after him. Background: the father of American illustration was the multi-talented Howard Pyle. Others who gained much fame in this field included Howard Chandler Christie, James Montgomery Flagg, Charles Dana Gibson, J.C. Lowendecker, Maxfield Parrish, Frederick Remington, Norman Rockwell and N.C. Wyeth. The vast majority of illustrators, however, received little recognition compared to the fine arts painters. This was basically due to their artwork being viewed as more commercially than creatively inspired. Nonetheless, illustrators once played a powerful role in communicating the people's aspirations, concerns, customs, humor, labor and social interests. One of them was Paul Martin, whose work appeared on the covers of Collier's, Everybody's, Farm and Fireside, Liberty, Parents and People's Home Journal from 1923-30. These 6 magazines once ranked among the most widely circulated. They all went out of business a long time ago, except for Parents. Their eventual downfall was caused by the changing times, radio and television and economics. The more specialized ones that targeted specific audiences, tended to fare better. Another point is that major advancements in photographic equipment and technology took place during the 1930s. This brought about the gradual changeover from illustrator to photographic covers. Collier's general interest magazines were once very popular and appealed to mass audiences. One of them was the historically significant Collier's, which had a revival under new editor William Chenery in 1925. Martin drew many of their covers during the Roaring Twenties, including 7 in 1925. Some artists created a niche and then stuck with it, such as in drawing comical situations, domestic follies, political satire, pretty women or simple pleasures. His recurring theme was of a youthful boy engaged in various light-hearted activities. This included the following: catching a baseball, eating desserts, playing the flute, wearing a straw hat, shooting a marble, shoveling snow, carrying schoolbooks, riding a sled, winding up a toy, eating turkey at Christmas, bobbing for apples, playing football, happily swimming, getting a shaved haircut, saying grace, working as a messenger, daydreaming at school about fishing and going down a water slide. He seldom veered from this subject matter. His simple yet bold drawing style captured the aspects of youth that were innocent and carefree. Martin excluded the non-essential details, which allowed viewers to make an instant connection. His paintings were often easy to recognize, since their theme and style remained fairly consistent. They sometimes gave the illusion of three-dimensional depth. This was through the use of various techniques, such as overlapping, color intensity variation and linear perspective. His cover art never corresponded to anything in particular, but rather had a holiday seasonal theme or portrayed the magazine's overall image. Martin would mostly hire local boys for photo sessions. His drawings were made directly from photos, not real life. This was a more practical process, due to children being involved. He would interact with them, until getting the desired natural or candid expression. The final version was based on several photos taken during the shoot, along with some improvising. His wife assisted in preparing the models for their scenes. Collier's couldn't keep up with the rapidly changing times following WWII, and ceased publication in December of 1956. Its main culprit was television, which dramatically took away from their advertising and circulation revenue. Collier's top competitors adopted somewhat better to the changing times, which helped them hold out longer. Graphic artist. Martin drew a poster titled "Serve Your Country" for the War Camp Community Service in 1918. It showed a fashionable young woman serving in tennis. Women were encouraged to entertain off-duty soldiers, by participating in various social events. This poster has long been on display at the International Tennis Hall of Fame and Museum in Newport, Rhode Island. Another two were for the American Junior Red Cross. The first was titled The Flag of Service the World Around in 1929. It showed children in international costumes around the top of the globe, with one holding a large-size Red Cross flag. The second was titled Juniors Helping Everywhere in 1930. Its purpose was to expand awareness of their various worldwide efforts. He also drew a poster that year, for the Old Hecho Company of Buffalo, New York. It showed a confident young football player, who had oat cereal for breakfast. This advertisement often appeared in food markets. On their walls, display windows or hanging from overhead wires. He designed a contest-winning poster titled Usefulness €1 Beauty €1 Health €1 Truth €1 Knowledge, for the Girl Scouts in 1931. This contest was conducted by the Art Alliance of America, an organization that brought together craft workers and manufacturers. The six-judge panel consisted of W. T. Bender, Ray Greenleaf, Rockwell Kent, John Largatta, Nazer Macmin and Edward Wilson. Martin's model for the poster was the teenage daughter of family friends from Darien. Connet earned him a $300 check from the Girl Scouts National Director, Josephine Skane. Their national president Mrs. Frederick E. Day was a consultant. This poster later appeared with a salute alteration, on the Girl Scout equipment catalogue's cover for fall 1932 and spring 1933. It captured the spirit of their character-building movement, and was in vogue through 1936. Martin, on picking his subject, Barbara, seems to be the personification of all that Girl Scouting means. She is the very spirit of radiant, happy and wholesome young girlhood, and my mind naturally turned to her immediately when I learned of the competition. He painted 3 known advertisements for the all-steel, General Electric monitor-top refrigerator in 1930. The first and most elaborate featured 2 boys running a lemonade stand, with their mother looking on through the open kitchen window. This ad is shown in a video slideshow, which salutes the first affordable model for residential use. His other monitor-top credits were of a girl playing with blocks, and 2 dressed-up girls listening to an enthusiastic sales boy. His drawings also ended up on Garlac-Barklow calendars, ink blotters and prints for business advertising, such as one titled Singin' in the Rain from 1931. It showed a boy sheltering several pups with an umbrella, while sitting down. Another showed a boy reading about scientific theories with some difficulty. Martin's paintings often included a loyal and friendly pup. He drew covers for such trade publications as Progressive Grocer, and Silent Hostess between 1922 and 31. Coincidentally, the helmet-wearing poster boy for H.O. Oates, later served as Progressive Grocer's associate editor from 1957-62. Martin's very first 2 cover credits were for this food-oriented magazine. His work was well represented in various forms of print media. The Fisk Tire Boy. Prelude. The Fisk Rubber Company switched from producing primarily bicycle to automobile tires in 1901. Their plant was located along the riverfront in Chicopee Falls, Massachusetts. Its facilities were making 5,000 tires a day in the 1920s. Fisk struggled financially during most of the 1930s. They were bought out by U.S. Rubber, which became known as Uniroyal Incorporated through a merger. Their name changed to Uniroyal Goodrich. This company sold its tire division to Michelin. The Fisk tire brand was actually discontinued around 1964. Michelin started reproducing them in 1996. This revitalized brand is sold through Discount Tire. He completely reshaped one of the most famous characters in the history of American advertising. It was the Fisk Tire Company's Sleepy Boy, who shouldered an oversized tire while dangling a lighted candle. It came with the catchphrase "Time to retire." This slogan had a simple double meaning. A facial alteration turned the awning into a smiling boy in early 1929. Martin was then commissioned to come up with a slightly more aged, modern-day figure in late 1929. The objective was to update the heavily publicized trademark, while still maintaining its charm and familiarity. The young lad's one-piece sleeper became a 2-piece pajama, during the changeover process. The slippers were also added. His 4-year-old nephew was used as the model. Still, the pose and all important props remain basically intact. Fisk's publicity manager described this new look to a magazine writer, in early 1930, as follows. A happy, smiling, 100% American boy in his little two-piece pajama, radiating good cheer, ruddy-cheeked and tousle-headed, snappy and wide-awake, standing in the old-time pose. This new version was initially used by Fisk Tires to showcase their Airflight brand, in advertisements and promotions. This included 12 times in the Saturday Evening Post, between February 8 and August 23, 1930. It was also offered to the public as an 11x 14-inch art print, via a special mail-in coupon offer in 1930. The image appeared sometimes with a slight facial change in other formats as well, such as on the cover of their 6 promotional children books subtitled Time to Retire/A Bedtime Story in 1931. Its subjects, Candyland, Jack and the Beanstalk, Little Black Sambo, Peter Rabbit, 3 Bears and 3 Little Kittens. Plus on ashtrays, bridge score pads, decals, electric clocks, jigsaw puzzles, and posters. Fisk retailers used this image on their letterheads and mailing envelopes. Martin's credits appeared in a scaled-down form, in Boy's Life and other magazines from 1930-34. Fisk Tires then went back to the original Sleepy Boy in 1935. Incidentally, Norman Rockwell drew a series of paintings surrounding the character, which were published in 1917-19 and 1924-25. Other renowned artists also promoted the character, such as J. F. Kernan, Maxfield Parrish and Leslie Thrasher. Timetable. 3 stages of the Pajama-Clad Boy, A. 1910-28, 35 onward. B. 1929-30. C. 1930-34. Excerpt from a 1912 magazine article. It was in 1910 that the Time to Retire Boy was created, appeared first in a lithographed wall hanger in 4 colors, and later all over the country for poster display. This is the now familiar picture of the little boy ready for bed, lugging a large Fisk tire on his arm. His reception was sufficiently enthusiastic to cause the advertiser to distribute postcards and reprints in which the boy was the central figure. Personal life. Martin studied commercial art at the National Academy of Design in New York City from 1902-06. He then moved from Manhattan to the Bronx, and worked for an outdoor advertising firm. Martin married Lauretta Willie in 1912. He joined the Artists Guild and went freelance in 1921. Martin was once one of the top 30 ranked tennis players in the New York metropolitan area. He won numerous trophies in singles, doubles and mixed doubles from 1920-31. This included, for example, one for capturing the inaugural championship at Sunningdale Country Club in 1920. Others were for the Lake George and Lake Morank championships in 1924. Martin's opponents included future Hall of Famers Francis Hunter, Gerald Patterson and boy wonder Vincent Richards. He played number 1 singles and doubles for both the University Heights and County Tennis Clubs. He organized tournaments for youngsters, as a member of the Brackliffe Lodge Sports Club Committee. The Westchester County Tennis League is the oldest continuously running of its kind, in the United States. They hold the annual Paul Martin Singles Tournament. The winners of this event have their names engraved, on one of Martin's cups. His rustic 2-story home in Millwood, New York, doubled as a studio from 1925-32. It contained a large variety of props for photo shoots. He occasionally used family members as models. Uncle Paul's niece is shown writing down the license number of a boy's wagon, on the Liberty cover of September 12, 1925. She's also highlighted on an American Junior Red Cross poster. His mother-in-law is shown basting a turkey for Thanksgiving, on the People's Home Journal cover of November 1928. Martin died of ulcers at age 48, following a major operation at Ossining Hospital in 1932. The funeral service was held at Highland Methodist Church in Ossining. He was survived by a sister and 3 brothers. His wife mixed doubles partner Lauretta, survived him by 40 years. She donated the tournament trophy named after her husband. Illustrated and signed mag covers. Or else imprinted with the words cover by Paul Martin. His artwork featured on Foreign Service was initially sold to parents in 1930. They ended up not using the piece and so it was resold. His artwork featured on Die Hausfrau, published in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Of a Boy with 5 Pups, was initially used by the Gerlach-Barklow Calendar Company, pictured above. Farm and Fireside changed their name to Country Home in early 1930. Parents' 25th anniversary issue came out in October of 1951. Its unique cover featured 25 of them reproduced in miniature form, one for each year from 1926 to 50. 3 of Martin's covers made it onto this Silver Jubilee edition. They came from the issues of October 1928, August 1929 and October 1930. The following list contains 35 known credits, excluding trade publications. It encompasses 3 different magazines from September of 1925. Collier's, May 26, 1923, February 2, 1924, June 28, 1924, October 25, 1924, November 22, 1924, December 27, 1924, May 2, 1925, May 30, 1925, June 27, 1925, July 4, 1925, July 25, 1925, September 19, 1925, October 31, 1925, January 16, 1926, February 13, 1926, May 22, 1926, December 25, 1926, February 26, 1927, August 13, 1927, August 27, 1927. Die Hausfrau, 4 to 1936. Everybody's, 9 to 1925. Farm and Fireside / Country Home, 11 to 1923, 8 to 1930. Foreign Service, 5 to 1932. Liberty, September 12, 1925. Parents, 10 to 1928, 2 to 1929, 5 to 1929, 8 to 1929, 10 to 1929, 2 to 1930, 10 to 1930. People's Home Journal, 5 to 1928, 11 to 1928. Illustrated books. His artistic contributions to short stories include the following foursome. 1. Saturday Evening Post, Short Turns and Encore by various writers, July 29, 1922 PA 16. 2. Collier's, The Unfair Way by Burford Lorimer, December 25, 1926 ppA 22 €23. 3. Scribner's Magazine, Tragedy by Eve Bernstein, April 1928 PA 479 4. Scribner's Magazine, On the Dark Trail by Franklin Holt, July 1928 PA 71. Phyllis, The Stable Boy of Bethlehem. And Other Children's Story Sermons for Christmas, Edmund J. Cleveland, with foreword by the RT. Reverend Charles L. Slattery, September 1927. It includes 11 stories covering the Christian year. The opener is about a fictional stable boy, who was present at the Holy Birth. Araminta. Helen Cady Forbes, November 1927. Araminta turns 11 years old and finds a baby. The Prince and the Pig's Gate, and Other Sermons and Story. Robert Hugh Morris, May 1928. The Baseball Detective. Charles G. Muller, August 1928. It's a story of baseball, competition, friendship and intrigue at the Fisk School for Boys. Chad of Nob Hill. The Tale of a Lone Scout. Howard R. Gary's, September 1929. This is one of the earliest books with a Boy Scouting theme. Gary's created and wrote about the gentlemanly rheumatic rabbit, Uncle Wiggily. References and notes. External links.